Good morning, good people. Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Chief NFT Strategist. How y'all feeling today? Gang, gang in the building. Once again, gang, gang is a positive term. I recently had Instagram tell me that I can't do as much because I might be a part of organized crime. I guess they look at the bar gang as potentially organized crime. And that's the crazy thing about the world we live in now. We give these technology platforms so much power that we decisions are made by bots. So if I'm dependent on a platform like Instagram to help me um, grow my business or add customers, and then you limit me because the bot tells you that I might be a part of organized crime. That's not right. But we're so dependent on these platforms. Sometimes my worst days are those days where I'm having problems with my Mac. And because I rely so much on my Mac to do so many different things, I'm frustrated all day trying to solve a computer problem or a Mac problem or a hardware problem. So we just got to be careful with our dependency on these platforms, on this technology. Um, man, well, let me just, yeah. Um, my goal is to really, really get to the point where my life is simplified. I said it before. I just want to wake up with my feet in the sand on the boat. Um, Unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit of money to get there. But in the meantime, we got to make use of this technology, but we can't be so dependent on it that it runs our emotions and it controls so much of what we do and how we, whether it's our business, whether it's our personal life. So just be careful with that. Well, today I just kind of want to. It's a quick show. I just kind of want to talk about um, those emotional roller coasters that you go through when you are an entrepreneur. Now, if you're like me, um, you wake up in the middle of the night with ideas. Oh man, I figured this out. I figured that out. This how I'm gonna get more customers. This how I'm gonna grow revenue. Um, and if you're like me, sometimes you write it down in the middle of the night where you, because sometimes if you don't write it down then and there, you forget. But at the end of the day, you have to manage that, right? Because you wake up super duper excited. Uh, you go and you implement, you write down what you wrote down, or you add to it, and then you go to execute, and it doesn't pan out like you thought, and that could be very, very, very frustrating to the point where it can um, it can cause you to lose a little bit of motivation in what you're doing. So I really want to encourage you that in order to kind of avoid those roller coasters. And with that being said, I still go through it, right? Been at this for um, over, how long have I been in business? Since going on 17, 18 years. It's been a while. On my own since 2007. So I guess that is 15 years. But I've been at it for a long time. And um, those roller coasters, it's a lot. It's to a point where you see people super duper excited, and they go hard for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then when they're not getting the results they want, or it gets a little rough, or they get frustrated, they give up on it. And entrepreneur, some people would say it's not for everybody. Although I disagree, I think it is for everybody. I'm not necessarily saying everybody should do it, but I think that we all have a little bit of creativity in us. I think we shouldn't be so dependent on employers and others for our money source. And then we live in a world where there's so many opportunities. If you are creative, whether that's creating NFTs, whether that's you have a skill that you have, there's too many opportunities right now for you to start a business and to make money, even if it's a side hustle. So, um, yeah, it may not be for everybody, but I think it is for everybody. So, um, my point being is, it's so easy to lose motivation, get frustrated, and give up. And how you manage that, or how you overcome that, is that you got to always, before you get into anything, define why you're doing it. Um, you have to understand, like, what is the purpose behind this thing that I'm doing? And yeah, it could be you got really excited, you were tired of your boss, and I'm gonna do it. It could be I'm getting into it because I see a money opportunity, and all those are valid reasons. But sometimes your why got to be significantly stronger than that to keep you when it does get frustrating, because those highs are really good, but the lows, if you ain't got that why in you, if you ain't got that constant something feeding you, it is going to be a thing where you are going to potentially give up. So, um, just a couple points. You got to have a strong why. Okay, that's one. Two, your why. It's not even just you have to have a why. You have to understand that um, I'm in this for the long haul, and on my good days, on my bad days, I'm in it for the long haul because I believe in what I'm doing. And when you believe in what you're doing, and in some cases, I say for me, what the things that I work on is bigger than me. So when I get those discouraging days, or I get those moments where I want to give up, I always look back and reflect and say it's bigger than me. So, I got to get it together. I got to find my motivation. Motivation could be in the form of music. It could be a book. It could be just meditating in the morning, clearing my head. It could be a drink at the bar and a conversation with a stranger that you may think you're going through something, and then you hear their story and you're like, hold up, man, I'm all right. Let me get it together. So you got to have something that fuels you, and something that you consistently do that fuels you, because sometimes that book might not work. Sometimes that song might not work. But what seemed to have what always helps me is encouragement from others, in the form of, like I said, a random conversation, in the form of a tweet, um, something where I'm like, oh man, I can get through this. I'm good. Um, but really, really, that why and that purpose behind what you're doing is always going to fuel those negative emotions that you may go through, that you are going to go through when you're going through this journey of an entrepreneur. And then I think it's important to talk a little bit about the highs, right? When you get your first customer, when you do that big deal, when that money come in, like, you have to manage that too, right? Because for me, in my experiences, um, sometimes those wins, those big wins, they can make you a little bit arrogant. And I think that although I'm not a big fan of the word humble or humility, in the sense that I think that we got to go out here and get it, um, I think that sometimes you got to always bring yourself back to earth, even with the wins, because what happens a lot of times when you do get those wins and that money does come in the door, sometimes you get a little reckless with your spending and your expenses. Um, Sometimes you forget to do the things that got you there. So you got to manage those wins. You got to manage those high moments as well. So definitely, if I say how you manage the lows, define your why before you get started. Determine what drives you to do this, and always remember that. Set reminders. Write it down. Put it in your phone. Put it on your wall. And then on the flip side, when you get those highs, you got to also understand that this may not be a high for long. I got to continue to do the things that got me to this point. I got to make sure that I'm never taking my foot off the gas. Um, and you got to make sure that you're always looking at your numbers and managing that, and managing to the forecast, or the budget, or the things that you put in place to manage the numbers. So um, that's it. Um, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to get off my chest. Once the subscribers come up, I'll definitely do more live shows, take questions during the call. YouTube is tough to grow. There's so much competition. There's so much content out there. And then little old me, who am I? I'm not famous. Um, I don't want to be famous. Seriously. I have a passion to teach. I have a passion to learn and then to teach what I know. And I do have some things that I'm promoting: body, bar game, BBT apparel. I do have these things, but for the most part, I'm here because I want to learn and I want to teach. And oftentimes, when I teach, I have to learn to be able to share the information that I'm telling you. So, anyway, I hope you have a great day. Um, I got a busy one, and yeah, I woke up excited, had a thought in the middle of the night, and I'm gonna see if it work out. If it don't, I gotta wake up in the next morning and figure it out. So, yeah, one thing I want to do before I go. I am the chief NFT strategist. Yes, I just had to do that. I finally figured out how to get my sounds right then. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good day. I am out. Peace.